What is going on? I'm ZMOT. We're going to be doing some warships, and I gotta say, this warships season sucks. There's like 1% of people who like it. The casual player, the person who's just trying to farm chests for their task force for intel, not liking it. I will have another video on that coming up soon. Do consider subscribing. Gonna be all sorts of fire thrown on things, so consider subscribing. Would love to hear your input as well. Give me all of the tips. But we are going to do the opposite. This season can be saved. I am going to show you how to save your season. Whether or not it's going to help you rank up or not, I can't promise that because it depends on your base and your skill and all that. But for me, it has made it way more fun, as you can see by this attack right here. Getting 4 engine rooms is fun. And not only that, we're also using some skill. So what we've got is we've got tick 4 on the GBE node. This GBE node is only 20 tokens. This one over here is 24. That's why I've got this one. You'll also notice I have my smoke at tick 2. Would love to boost that up a little bit. Would probably make this hit more effective, but I just don't have the tokens for that. My flare is tick 4. I highly recommend that. Otherwise, this is going to be... Actually, you know what? With tick 3, it might work as well. Tick 4 just makes it a little bit better, though. Down here, we have the Zookas. I got Zookas early on. This account only has tick 1 rifleman. You could, in theory, use riflemen instead of Zookas, but just Zookas are the answer. Brick is maxed. Now, I'm not quite sure if Battle Orders or Iron Will is best here. I'm going to use Iron Will just because. Otherwise, let's get into it. You'll notice that Rocket Choppas tick 1. Actually, they're not in use. They spread too much for these attacks. Critters would be helpful, but I'm going to rush over here instead. So, you know what? Enough jibber jabber. Let's get into it. We are going to be using 5 boats of heavies. Maybe 3 boats of Zookas. Haven't really decided yet. Okay, first of all, let's talk about the risks. The risks are your attack could be absolutely awful. Also, the other bad thing is because your attack's going to be very quick, you're going to end up having to wait for your opponent. Now, this person is smart. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4 shock mines, 5 shock mines along that left-hand wall. We don't care. What we're going to do here, we're going to use 1 boat of heavies as cannon fodder, or as mortar fodder, I should say. Then we are going to drop the rest of our troops using that left-hand side flag. Then we're going to get them walking. That mortar is going to distract all of the things. And now just a little bit of a gappy smoke. Now the important detail here is to throw your smokes very late. You want your smokes to come out late. That way your Zookas can get underneath, and that way also you can hit the shock mines like right there. And then we're going to go 1 and 2, throwing our shocks in reverse order towards the end. We have managed to get basically every single one of our troops there. And now we're going to go something like this, and give our heavies a little bit of time to spread the heck away from our Zookas. That is goal number 1 right now. Getting the heavies away from the Zookas, building a nice little pocket for our Zookas to stand in. And now we can get 1 more shock right about there. I missed the somewhat easy shock. But on the plus side, heavies out front, Zookas in behind, and just cruising. Need another shock, but unfortunately we are not going to get it. So probably should have done a kamikaze flare for that final engine room, but not a bad hit. Would have liked to get all 4 engine rooms, but just not quite there yet. Still making a couple mistakes, still building the skills to get this thing going. They got 0 engine rooms, we got 3. Like I said, there's a lot of requirements for this, but if you're stuck, if you're hating on this season, I mean, even if you just smoke all heavies works as well. Now, one of the good things about everyone copying the exact same base is that your attacks don't have to change all that much. Sure, there'll be a couple shock mines moved around in the back corner, there'll be things ever so slightly differently, but majority of people have that front mortar. You just throw that 1 boat of heavies over to that right, let them get a little bit of the way up the path, and then the Zookas come into that left-hand side. And using a flag drop works incredibly incredibly well. This is not just a warships thing. This works on War Factory, on operation attacks, way, way too often. I see people dropping their troops, and then what they end up doing is they drop their flags in the right spots, and then they go and they drop a flare right afterwards, and it just leaves you scratching your head wondering what the heck they're doing. We're going to throw a shock there, and just hope that our troops spread out in a decent fashion, because there were shock mines. Ooh, Whistletooth there. I'm not sure if you guys heard that or not, but just trying to get our Zookas to spread out, our heavies to spread out. When there are shock mines super close, typically I try to avoid throwing that extra flare, because sure, your troops will start to move, but then they'll also get shocked as we desperately need to shock that rocket launcher right there. Otherwise, the rocket launcher was going to shoot over the heads of those heavies, and bad things happen when that happens. Sorry, word happen coming out a couple too many times there. Zooka's trying desperately to get one more engine room. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's going to be very, very close as we manage to get all of the engine rooms. Brick is still alive. We still have 10 Zookas. Not too bad. We're going to take down Squiggles, McLine, House, something or other. Let's see what they've got up their sleeves. And they are coming in with Brick and Bombardiers and Heavies, and it looks like they have forced close, because they are not feeling it. The fact that that little satellite dish is wiggling up and down means either they've got a terrible connection, or more likely they have forced and quit. So we're going to come... Oh, look at that. We have crashed. Okay, last opponent's game crashed, causing my game to crash. Anytime your opponent gets stuck with that satellite moving and they have battle orders going, you can't exit without the game crashing. We're going to do the exact same thing. I am going to switch things up. Was hoping to switch things up, but then I forgot to use Iron Will. Iron Will is a fantastic ability, and I hate it. And it's only fantastic for warships, but figured we should probably give it a try just to see how that's going. Now, because we are so darn far from where we started off, we're going to throw that last smoke crazy late, then this next smoke early, and then our final two smokes one after another. All our Zookas underneath by the skin of our teeth, and then one shock, two shocks. Heavies coming out. Look at that amazing pocket we have here. Just absolutely perfect. I don't think I could get that any better. This might be my last. You know what? I wanted to do one more attack with our Iron Will just to see if we can do any better, different, whatever the heck it is. Need to throw one more shock right about there. Should be absolutely golden though. Like, we've got so many heavies out front. Let's get one more battle orders just for something to do. Getting all of our Zookas in and amongst all of the things. Easy, easy clear. That was perfect. That was textbook. I wrote the textbook. I edited the textbook. There it is for you guys to copy. Hopefully there's been enough details in this video to get you excited about warships, get you using some skilled attacks, and give you something to look forward to if you're a little bit farther behind in the tech tree. Now, quick note, if we go look at our tech tree in here, you'll notice that we've got our friends, the Zookas, early on, we've got smoke early on, we've got flares early on, and we've got heavies early on. So you've also got that GBE node early on, so there's a lot of tools available. This doesn't have to be at the 4 engine room level. But that being said, the 3 engine room level, your engines are kind of all willy-nilly. Pretty hard to do these kind of attacks until you get into the 4 engine room level. I am going to be using battle orders. Iron Will worked a little bit, but I feel like battle orders gets a little bit more separation. So that is what we're going to be using with Miss Brick. Let's get into it. Let's get an attack going. Hoping to show you some goodness. Now, first of all, there are a couple risks in here. Sometimes you screw up, you lose all your troops, you get 0 engine rooms, but guess what? That's what happens the rest of Season 36. Anyways, the second thing, you end up waiting for people a lot. You end up getting 2, 3, 4 engine rooms, and then you gotta wait for them to just do their slow drudgery, clearing every single defense, and it's not super fun. So what we're gonna do, first of all, we are gonna drop that heavy far to the right with that flag. Then we are going to drop all 3 of our Zookas next, using those right-hand side heavies as cannon fodder or mortar fodder or whatever the heck you want to call them. And now, because our Zookas were dropped first, we can drop our smokes a little bit early. Typically, you want to delay your smokes a lot. We don't need to completely do that because our troops managed to get out from underneath that smoke early on. Now, all of our Zookas are going to get underneath it. I think we lost 1 or 2. And now we are going to flare out to there, shocking a couple things, using battle orders to get some separation for our Zookas, getting them the heck away from our, what are those things called? Away from our Zookas. The heavies are going to build a nice little pocket here, as you can see. Nothing can shoot our Zookas. Nothing of consequence anyways. And now getting those heavies out, heavies spreading out, staying in front of our Zookas, and now we're going to do a final flare onto that engine room, hoping that that one measly little heavy right there, yep, you see that one heavy doing all sorts of good work for us. Not going to get that final engine room, I don't think, but you might as well flare it just in the hopes that maybe, just maybe, that final rocket launcher can't quite pick us off. Not going to get it. So we did pretty darn good here. We're going to have to retreat. Not bad for a first hit. DD, what did you do for us here? We got 54, they got 22. We're going to take the win. Pretty happy with that. Now oh, look at that, we're into 20. Just like that. That's going to help us a little bit. Where can we spend those tokens? That's twice you guys have come to 20 with me. Now, critters are a great troop to use, a great ability to use to clear some mines. That's going to give you all sorts of benefits. Alternatively, you could save for that next engine room, or this extra GBE is just going to make this attack even stronger and more ridiculous. Right now, I'm not going to spend anything because I am winning and things are working. Okay, we are going to do something a little bit different on this one. If you noticed, I am constantly going to the left-hand side, and the reason for that is because of that little notch in that back left corner. You can't protect that back left corner with an engine room. On this back right, you can. So most of the attacks go left, kind of like on the main base where you walk right along that dock as opposed to going left. We are going to try to walk right, trying to mix in a Zoolander / NASCAR, some sort of going right instead of left reference. I'm not entirely sure what the correct answer here is, but do let me know in the comments if you think the correct reference, I should say, is NASCAR or on the Zoolander. Notice how far back my Zookas are? We are going to throw our smokes crazy late, like crazy late. And then before our Zookas catch up too much, we're going to get them moving because we want to get into those shock mines and mines before our Zookas catch up. And then we are going to get back to moving. And notice I threw my smokes in the wrong order that time. Shouldn't matter too much. This right-hand side, far more difficult, but I think we can get all of the shocks down, get all of our Zookas out, and I think maybe, just maybe, we can clear enough to get at least one more shock and clear all of the things. I'm not entirely sure if we're going to be able to get it or not, but I'm going to flare all the way underneath that rocket launcher. The reason for that is because that way all of our Zookas are going to be in the blind spot of that rocket launcher. That is the last rocket launcher that's available. I'm fairly confident that we can get all of the defenses from here. Just need like one Zooka to stay alive, and that's about all we're gonna have. That machine gun is not gonna range us. Look at this, we're in this little tiny back corner hidey hole, and I think we should be able to get all of the engine rooms from here. We just need like one more gunboat energy. We're gonna get one more shock right about there, and that should be enough. We're gonna get all of the engine rooms going right to left. I don't recommend this tactic. This is one that is gonna be a little bit tough to follow. Going up that left-hand wall is going to be much easier. No little weird outcropping, no little weird notch there. Oh no, we didn't get them all. Came awfully close, but just another opportunity, different attack that you can throw into your bag of tricks. I'm going to call it right there, my friends. We've gone up and down the ranks a little bit. I have done some video editing to get this a little bit shorter to get you some good examples. If you enjoyed this video, do go into that shop in any Supercell game, throw ZMOT in there. It is greatly appreciated and it costs you $0.00, and then go use some of those big bouncing melons because they're so good as well. And last but not least, don't forget to destroy all of the things on your map because your task force needs the intel. Typically, you can get a little dose of intel using warships, but this season, getting those chests is taking a long time, so make sure you clear your map, get those intels into your task force, because task force is the glue that holds this game together, just like smoke and flares. I shall talk to you soon. As always, I'm ZMOT. Thanks for coming in. Peace!